First at 4, Battleground Blitz. President Trump and Joe Biden targeting key states, with the president hoping Michigan will be his good luck charm for a second time. We're also tracking COVID-19 changes at local schools, restaurants, and bars. And we've got the latest count on new cases. Paula.
So this is how a lot of women are spending their weekend. Why are more and more women spending their time at gun ranges? Well, it has a lot to do with the pandemic and elections. I'll explain.
And we're off to a great start this week, but will Election Day Tuesday look this nice? Plus, we're tracking another major hurricane. It's all right now, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Devin Skillian in for Karen today. First at 4, just 28 hours to go in this long, unusual, intense, and heated 2020 election. Once again, Michigan will be in the national spotlight on Election Eve. President Trump will be in Grand Rapids for a late-night rally scheduled for 10:30 this evening. Democrat Joe Biden was here, of course, on Saturday. He'll end his campaign in another battleground state, Pennsylvania. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom. And Kim, both sides trying to win over anyone who hasn't already cast a ballot.
That's right, Devin, and good afternoon to you. The Battleground Blitz will take President Trump to 4 states today, including Michigan, as you just mentioned. Meanwhile, the Biden campaign is doing a full court press trying to win back Pennsylvania after the president's victory there in 2016. The former president, vice president, I should say, has been calling his campaign, quote, a battle for the soul of the nation. You see him there. He's always seen wearing a mask until the last moment, taking it off when he speaks with voters. Biden has made the president's response to the coronavirus a cornerstone of his campaign. He hit that theme again today in Cleveland. Listen.
This president knew last January the virus was deadly, but he hid it from the American people. He knew it was worse than the flu. He lied to the American people. He knew it wasn't going to disappear, but he kept telling us a miracle was coming.
And President Trump made headlines in the battle against coronavirus this weekend, suggesting he would fire Dr. Anthony Fauci after the election. Dr. Fauci had been critical of the White House response to the pandemic during an interview, and the president accused him of getting political days here before the election. In North Carolina today, the president reminded supporters they love him because he doesn't follow the standard political playbook.
If I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician. If I don't always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you, and I fight harder than any president has ever fought for his people.
And before the president's big finish in Grand Rapids, he's also making stops in Pennsylvania and will also hold a rally in Traverse City scheduled to begin in about an hour or so. We'll be with the president tonight in Grand Rapids. So, Devin, we'll have more tonight on the news at 5, 6, and 11. For now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, KG, we'll see you soon.
Sure.
By the way, the Biden campaign not done with Michigan. Vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris is going to spend part of Election Day here in Detroit. We'll have more details just as soon as they're released. That's how changeable the schedule is this close to the polls opening. Remember, counting the ballots in Michigan could take more time this year. This is video from the TCF Center where workers started to open some of those absentee ballots today. Per state law, they can open those ballots. They can't count them. They can just check the ballot to make sure that it is countable. Today, they're checking them for any errors, any irregularities, whether signatures match and so on. As of today, more than 2.9, almost 3 million Michigan voters have turned in absentee ballots. Could take a while to get all of those counted, as you might well expect, as election workers also deal with in-person voting, which starts tomorrow, the polls opening at 7 a.m. Stay right here for our continuing coverage of Decision 2020. Tomorrow morning, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, by the way, will join us live on Local 4 News today at 6:30 to talk about election security and getting all those ballots counted. Also, Hank Winchester will be on duty throughout Election Day and night.
Tomorrow, it's Election Day. Are you ready? We are talking today with the Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and also other political insiders here in Michigan, giving you the information you need to know so you are ready to make your voice heard tomorrow. And I want you to know, should you encounter any issues or problems at the polls, these are all the different ways you can get in touch with me and the Help Me Hank team. Join me for our live coverage as it continues today at 5 o'clock.
All right, Hank, and tomorrow night we've got you covered as the results start coming in. Watch for live updates on Local 4 and clickondetroit.com. We hope you'll be your home for Decision 2020 all day, all night, perhaps all week, however long is necessary. Let's get you caught up now on the coronavirus pandemic here in Michigan. We have just received the newest numbers from the state reporting more than 6,700 new cases. Now that's a two-day total. That's for both Sunday and Monday. We've also seen 17 additional deaths over those 2 days as well. Now remember, starting today, if you head to a bar or a restaurant, you will be asked to leave your name and phone number in case you need to be called later for contact tracing. Local schools still struggling with the rising number of cases. For example, the West Bloomfield District going fully remote now through at least November 27th. New at 5, we're going to dive into the push-pull that's facing all school districts in the state as they try to navigate the pandemic, because thus far it is not getting any easier. Our week got off to a chilly start this morning, but on the bright side, it looks like it's going to be the coldest day of the week. Ben Bailey standing by with the forecast. Let's head for a warm-up here, Ben.
We're going to try, Devin, and at least we can stand up without getting blown down by the wind today, so that's a big improvement too. But there's sunshine's out there, just a few high clouds. Current temperatures are in the mid-40s, which is below average for this time of year. And you can see those winds are still noticeable in a couple spots, but we'll take care of that late tonight going into tomorrow. Temperatures sliding into the 30s there by midnight, but coming up, we'll talk about Election Day. For the most part, it is looking good. We'll show you the exception to that rule. The warming trend does look like it is going to show up, and also some big changes for next week, how long we're going to have to wait for our next shot of rain. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Devin?
Well, we are now going to talk about a trend that we've been noticing at local gun shops and gun ranges. More women seem to be arming themselves and learning how to use those weapons to protect themselves. What is happening behind that trend? Paula Tutman's been doing some digging as a look at what she found.
This weekend, gun safety classes were booming at Uncoiled Gun Range in Livonia, where self-defense and gun expert Nika Lawrence of Beyond the Steel micro-focuses on the safety needs of women.
Finger stays off that trigger till you're ready to shoot. This is your rear sight. This is your front sight.
She is noticing a trend. She says since the pandemic hit through right now, her business has increased as much as 80% as more and more women purchase guns and then learn how to use them.
And they're just kind of afraid that things are going to escalate on both ends with the pandemic and the election. I've heard, depending on who gets in office, they're kind of afraid that maybe they're going to take some of their gun rights away or take, their guns away. And then as far as like the pandemic, they don't know if people are going to, start doing different things, trying to get money. And, a lot of people are losing their jobs and they feel like they're going to, maybe start robbing and breaking into homes more. So I've heard it all. I've heard it all, but they're afraid. These women are afraid.
Everybody loaded up? I'm almost feeling like it's about to be World War III out here.
And because both the suburban and urban housewife alike are not just tethered to the home, they bring home the bacon, they cook it up in the pan, and they also become the lionesses who protect their personal prides. And so with the pandemic continuing to spread and concerns over possible changes in gun ownership rights, they are taking matters into their own hands.
I want to be able to protect my family if I need to.
The election definitely has brought up a lot of opinions and a lot of fear and panic, but I don't think why I took this class has to do with the election. I think it has to do with understanding something new that's that there could be a lot of misinformation about.
It's a way that we all can get along. I don't know that answer, but I'm pretty sure there's a way out.
Paula Tutman, Local 4.
There's got to be an answer somewhere. All right, Paula. More news and Ben Bailey's 7-day forecast still coming your way. We've also got a British court's decision in, well, let's just say it. It's an embarrassing case of he said, she said. The very public battle between superstar Johnny Depp and his ex-wife has reached a turning point. But coming up first, a heart-stopping miracle. Rescue crews feared this little girl did not make it. We'll look at her now. We'll talk about the emotional moment when she was found next.